expectations can make and break any single team's legacy or player's legacy in the NBA. I mean, look at a team like the Los Angeles Lakers right now. They already won a championship, but with a player like LeBron James and Anthony Davis on this team, people are already saying that they're kind of a disappointment for not being able to win multiple. You can look at a team like the Big Three Miami Heat, who won 2 straight championships, went to 4 straight NBA Finals, but simply because the expectation of them was winning 4, maybe 5 championships together, they are seen as a little bit underachieved. And throughout NBA history, that's been the constant theme of things. Expectations can make your legacy completely if you're able to exceed them, or it can destroy it completely if you play under what people expect you to be. But there's been one team in recent NBA history that seemed to be able to escape all that scrutiny, even though they simply either don't play up to the standard that is put on them, or they simply just aren't even on the court sometimes because they're that injury riddled, and that is the Los Angeles Clippers. From the constant subliminals towards the Los Angeles Lakers and them thinking they run LA, to the last 3 games against the Denver Nuggets that truly destroyed a lot of what I thought about them, to the constant up and down performance of PG in the playoffs, even though he did redeem himself 2021, and the constant up and down health of Kawhi and Paul George, and them getting literally everything they want on this team and constantly packing this team with big names. It just seems like this team is so set up for success but can never truly get there. And while it's only been 3 years, and the 3 years have been, well, the virus, injuries, and then again injuries, it's hard to look at a team with so much promise, so much expectation, and just so much talent on it, not being able to win and completely look past it, especially with the high standards that people have for somebody like Kawhi Leonard, who even after coming off an ACL injury, people still have him in their top 5, top 7 in the NBA right now. So today we're going to look at the facts, look at the history, and look at what's going on in the coming season, and we have to answer the question, is this the last chance for the Los Angeles Clippers? Let's talk about it. Before I get started, I'd like to talk about today's sponsors being Underdog Fantasy. And Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports as of right now, and they have their double dribble tournament going on for the 2022-2023 NBA season already. You just draft your players, and overall the grand prize is about $200,000, or it's a prize pool, and you can make out with more money than you put in by WHIP being up to 2,000th place. It's only a $25 entry fee, and if you use code FLB as of right now, you get $100 matched up to your first deposit. So if you wanted to get into fantasy sports, Underdog Fantasy is the best place to go. So hit the link in the description and use code FLB for $100 matched on your first deposit. And thank you to Underdog Sports for sponsoring this video. I'm pretty sure everybody knows the backstory from now on, so I'll probably try to keep this part brief. But ever since coming to LA, the Clippers have been hyper-focused on one team and one team only, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers, completely ignoring the fact that they have to get to a point where they play the Lakers, since they probably both are going to be a top seed, and they're going to have other teams that they need to get past before they even see the Lakers. But that point's neither here nor there. But as that went on, and as the season got shut down, going into the bubble, one, they weren't prepared at all. They constantly complained about what they were going to have to do. A lot of the teams that made it that far completely understood what needed to happen, worked their ass off to get to where they need to be, and played up to their ability. But I'm not going to give the Clippers that excuse of the bubble. You went into the bubble, you had 2 of your best players, you have majority of your roster there, and you were one of the best teams in the regular season. And to be honest, throughout the NBA playoffs, you proved that consistently by the way you took down the Dallas Mavericks, so I don't want to hear anything about them not being complete in the bubble. The things they did against the Nuggets in those final 3 games are absolutely atrocious. Constantly blowing double-digit leads, Jamal Murray looking like an absolute god against them. Well, to be honest, playoff Murray just looked like regular Murray now, and hopefully he comes back looking the same, because god damn, that Nuggets team is insane if he does. But as of right now, they got completely dismantled by a very young team that at the time wasn't really established yet. Then coming into the next year, they almost got solo swiped by Luka. Give Kawhi his credit. The man came up and showed why he's one of the best players in the NBA. And as they go against the Jazz, Kawhi goes down again, another injury problem. Even after all the load management, it still didn't help him not avoid injuries in the playoffs. Paul George had to step up, and Paul George redeemed himself for the absolute atrocious performance he had in the bubble. But with that being said, it's still not enough, and a conference finals appearance really isn't enough to satiate any fans of a team that expected you to be in the NBA finals and bring a ring to the Clippers. Damn, I said I was going to keep that brief, but that was all of 2 minutes. But going into last season, we all know that we didn't expect too much from this team. We all expected Paul George to be a little bit more healthy, so maybe make the playoffs. But with him being in and out of the lineup, immediately the Clippers are written off as probably a team that wasn't going to make it, and then making the play-in was definitely a surprise, but that shows the combination of talent they have that's outside of Kawhi and PG and what they can get done if they have their entire team together. And adding somebody like John Wall, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, John Wall, while again he is not the same player he was 6 years ago, because goddamn, people are using highlights from like 6 years ago. I see Marcin Gortat and Epke Udo in these highlights. What the hell are we doing? But while he may not be the same player, he's shown that he's probably still one of the more productive point guards in the league, able to give you 20 and 7 on decent efficiency. And on a team where he doesn't have to be a number 1 or number 2 option, or if he comes off the bench, not even a number 3 option, but just give you a consistent maybe 10 to 15 and 5 assists a game while being able to control the second unit and maybe be one of the guys in the game at the end of the game just to keep the flow of the offense and get PG and Kawhi in situations that give them easy buckets so they don't get tired and have to do all these playmaking duties on top of being two-way players. This team has enough talent to set them up, and going into the next season when the league has more parity than it's had in a while, depending on where KD goes. But as of right now, if there's a combination of top 5 teams in the NBA that you expect them to win a championship, honestly, right now with Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. coming back from injury, you don't know what you may get from them. I would put the Clippers in that conversation over the Nuggets. And that's just me going off what is the unknown of what you may get back from Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. versus what we know we're probably going to get from Kawhi and PG, even Kawhi coming off a knee injury and knowing what we saw from John Wall in the little time we saw him play, I think, last year or the year before that. And as of right now, Kawhi and PG and John Wall and Reggie Jackson, basically a lot of their team, outside of maybe like a Luke Kennard and Terrence Mann and, you know, just those players, the younger guys, they're aging at a rapid pace right now. Kawhi has had consistent injury problems, and coming off an ACL tear, you don't know when his prime is simply just going to fall off a cliff, or if it already fell off a cliff. We don't know what we're going to get back. Paul George, again, is only not, he's not getting any younger. He's had multiple major injuries throughout his career, and as of right now, we don't know what we may get back from him or how long he can play at the level that he was playing at before. So overall, in my opinion, I do think this team or this year may be the last year, the last chance the Clippers have to win a championship with this Kawhi and PG core as your best 2 players. Because looking at the scape of the NBA right now, the Golden State Warriors, while Steph and Clay and Dre are all getting older, they have another set of young players coming up with guys like Jordan Poole, Kuminga, James Wiseman, Moses Moody, and players like that. You have young teams like the Grizzlies that took a huge leap last year and could be incredibly good for years to come. Overall, you still have the Phoenix Suns out there once they retain DeAndre Ayton. Luke is only getting better teammates, and you could barely beat him when he didn't have good teammates. Overall, it's just getting really a lot harder to win, especially for the Clippers in the Western Conference. And I do think if they're going to capitalize on a year to finally just break that curse and win a championship, it's going to have to be this one. So with all that being said, please let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys think this is the Clippers' last chance? Because I know Steve Ballmer, he's not afraid to spend money. And I also don't think he'll be afraid to blow this shit up if it's needed, because he's giving them everything that they ask for, and they simply has not brought what he asked for, and that is a championship. And while that's easier said than done with the talent that Clippers team had, with how the bubble was supposed to be easy, and to be honest, they were a lot better than the Nuggets team as a whole talent-wise, and they still not be able to get past that team. And the constant injury issues, I wouldn't be surprised if he got fed up and blew up this team, because I probably would too. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about in the comment section down below. Do you think they should blow this team up? If you want to get into fancy betting, hit the description and sign up for Underdog Sports and use code FLB. With that being said, it's FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.